The following podcast contains spoilers and profanity. Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Half and Half podcast. I'm your host Glenn Walker, and with me as always is MarsReviews.
What is up, guys? We're going to talk about the new show, Disenchantment, from legendary creator Matt Groening. I just got to say, holy shit, did he fucking knock this one out of the park, bro. Like, oh my god. Like, I'm not even kidding here, man. He eclipsed Simpsons. He beat out Futurama. Like, how did he's like on a win streak. It's like 3 in a row. It's like he has 3 classic series in a row. How does he do this? How?
Would you clarify this is a classic, Mars?
I would clarify this as like an all-time, like, just animated series. Like, Netflix, BoJack Horseman just canceled the next season. Just put this one, just put this one in production. And
Yeah.
just
After
out.
4 seasons, it's run its course. We beat this dead horse. Come on, guys. We need 7 more seasons of Disenchantment.
It's a waste of resources. Just open up like more sweatshops in like Korea and China. Just make more Disenchantment.
Just make. Why are they sweatshop owners?
Have you not seen that one Simpsons like cutaway yet? They don't do cutaway. That fucking intro where it's like Banksy is like, look at the Simpsons being animated by Chinese people.
I did not see that. No.
It's true. They're making fun of themselves by using basically slave labor.
Anyway, yeah, we are talking about Disenchantment, Matt Groening's new series that he's done since he's done, Simpsons, Futurama.
Matt Groening. No one knows how to say his name without second guessing it.
Matt
Groening.
Groening?
Matt Groening.
Matt Groening?
Matt Groening. There's no A in your name. You're stupid. You're a fucking idiot, Matt Groening.
Grain?
I hate you.
Matt Grain? Like grain of rice?
Right. Matt Groening's pretty cool.
Anyway, so yeah, Disenchantment is the new Netflix show. It is a 10-part thing, and it apparently, not 10-part, it's 10 episodes, but it apparently is going to have 2 parts, or maybe more.
Oh,
we are currently reviewing part 1, which just came out. Mars, tell me what Disenchantment's about.
So Disenchantment is like, you ever watch like a Disney movie?
Yes.
You ever watch like a teenage girl movie? That's Disenchantment throughout the series. It's like, my dad's not letting me do whatever I want. I hate you, Dad. And it's like, honey, I love you. I just want to do what's best for you. That's essentially what the series is. It's a series of like a dad trying to do what's best for his daughter, but he's a strict asshole because his wife is dead. Except that she's not dead, she's a fucking rock.
Yeah, she was encased in stone, and the main character of the series, her name is Bean. She's a princess.
What a name.
Bean. I think they said like it stands. It's like, I think that's her nickname. I'm pretty sure it's like stands or something. I don't quite remember at the moment. That's what most of the characters call her. All right, so yeah, let's talk about the actors, and we'll see how you thought they did in this series. We'll also give a bit of a synopsis on who they are in the series.
Okay, who's the first actor? Who plays Bean?
Abby Jacobson. What'd you think of her, Mars?
Abby Jacobson? What has she done?
What has she done? I don't know. I didn't recognize her voice. But
anyway. She's the fucking chick from Broad City and from like the other Google result, Lego Ninjago movie.
My favorite Lego movie.
She's from Broad City, that show that I don't like.
You don't like? I remember, I think I saw one like skit from that show, and it had Trevor from GTA in it, and that's the only reason I watched it.
Broad City with that one chick, like Michelle Wolf?
I have no idea.
Oh, because she just got fired from Netflix.
Why'd she get fired?
It's not funny.
Got me there.
Get fucked, Michelle Wolf. Oh, no, it's not her. Oh. She was pretty cool. She was, like, pretty cool, like, because, like, they were, like, the big thing with her was, she was at that, like, Trump roast or something I didn't attend, and then she was just, like, making fun of that one pedophile, like, a governor from like South Carolina. Just like, people would call me to. She's just making like really hardcore pedophile jokes. Like, her set sucked, but that one was good.
All right.
But,
anyway, so yeah, what'd you think of Bean?
I thought of Bean as like her acting. It was just like kind of like a standard, like, I'm the main girl.
I am the protagonist, but I'm also very rebellious.
I didn't like her. I don't like her from like many fronts of just like terms of design. Like
You don't like her buck teeth or her white hair?
I don't like Matt Groening's style outside of Simpsons really at all.
I think I like it more in Simpsons and Futurama than I like it here.
Like Futurama is like fine, like it's all right, but I do think that there's like characters that just like don't really look that appealing within that style.
There's some I kind of like.
There's some that I kind of like, but some are just like, I don't like you, how you look. And like now looking at these characters, like Bean just looks like fucking ugly, the disgusting freak with no chin. That's all the characters in this.
That's true.
They're just disgusting freaks with no chin. Her teeth look stupid. Her smile looks disgusting. I don't like her. She has like a very generic voice to her, and just very
she's the whole thing is like she's kind of an idiot. Like she keeps doing like these things that go against her father, and they really just kind of fuck up things. She's like a Bart Simpson, but like more angsty.
She's like a bug on Maggie. That's an archaic reference to a Disney cartoon that no one's gonna get. It's kind of like shows within that vein of just like the whole premise is I gotta rebel my dad, and that could be fun.
I gotta rebel my dad by having a party in the castle while he's away, by drinking alcohol. I'm an alcoholic. By getting high.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, she wasn't the greatest, honestly. I think I liked her a bit more towards the end when she had because the whole point of like the first 2 episodes is she's gonna get forced into marriage, which okay, sure, but then
weird.
They rectify that, and like we'll get to it, but like they rectify that very early, and it's just like she doesn't really do much throughout the whole series until the end where there's like a huge plot point.
She feels like she has like no real
goal.
Yeah, no goal or really any sort of like purpose to where like I feel like I need to see this character. It's just kind of like she's just kind of like bumbling around.
Yeah.
If that was funny, if it was like really really funny, then that would be fine. But
she's not.
It's just not like it. Like Matt Groening is like. Here's the thing: who's on this? Like, there are Simpsons writers, but are they in like writers' roles or are they in producers' role? Because
no idea.
Does producer just mean just like writing for it? Because like. First off, like, are they current Simpsons or are they old Simpsons? Like,
probably most likely current, I would believe.
Oh,
I have no idea though.
And that's awesome. Oh man, I love current Simpsons writers.
Oh, we didn't get Lady Gaga. She's not in this episode.
All right, who's in this? Executive producer. They have like David X. Cohen like producing, but like let's look at some of these like people that are in this. Development, it was Rough Draft Studios. Who the fuck are they? I'll look at their IMDb, but like they're just the jokes in this are just not all that like funny. I feel like it's like it's kind of like disgustingly safe to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say like on Netflix you kind of have mostly your boundaries are kind of like. They're not like TV at all, so it's like you don't really have to do this. Like this is like TV 14 rated wise. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not telling them to like you gotta drop fucking hard N bombs, F bombs, S bombs.
At least I think F bombs would have like been like a big progression for this kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if
because they didn't really do that stuff in Futurama, even though that was more adult than The Simpsons.
Yeah, it's just like it feels weird. Like there's like in the first episode, I felt really awkward because like in the first episode they have this like when you're introduced to like Elfo, which nice name,
we'll talk to okay. He's the next person. He's Nat Faxon, Elfo. Let's describe him or his.
Yeah, Nat Faxon plays Elfo, the worst character in the entire series.
Yeah.
The most annoying character in the entire series. It's just like.
So what he is, it will describe him. So he essentially he comes from a hidden elf village, sort of like the Smurfs, where it is kind of like a Smurfs parody because there's like Dopey and like Surprise elf, and it's just like okay, and then he gets kicked out because he tried to sleep with the king's daughter.
This character fails to me on all fronts. One, his design is terrible. He just looks like a fucking like He looks like a fucking like deformed Bart Simpson.
He does
like
look like
2
that.
feet.
He doesn't act like
His
that,
voice is
though.
fucking annoying. His voice is annoying. Nat Faxon. I have never seen you in shit. This is my first.
Oh,
impression of
no,
you.
no, you have definitely seen him before, Mars. You want to know where?
Oh, Reno 911.
No, he's the bear in Cleveland Show.
Fuck you. You are a piece of shit. You hired this guy? Fuck off. He's the guy that goes like, wait, how the fuck does his voice go?
You're gonna say Peter?
No, how the fuck does his voice go? Like,
My God, baby. I don't know how to fucking pronounce. I don't know how to do it.
Cleveland or something. I can't. It's like really high pitched. He sounds like fucking the.
Oh, he's also Captain
Waka Waka.
Underpants in the TV show.
Okay, all right. You're redeemed in a little ways, but fuck you.
But yeah, he's.
Yeah. He just sounds. He's just annoying. He just sounds like I'm Elfo or something, and it's just like your annoying voice. You're kind of a. No one knows what your character really is.
Yeah, I think the show kind of forgot about that because in the first episode where you meet him, he seemed kind of like a bit rebellious to like his other elf people. Whereas like he's on a factory line. He's like making presents, and then he sleeps with the king's daughter. And it's like, okay, he wants to do this thing where he doesn't want to be a part of them anymore, and it seems like he's a bit more like at least more rambunctious than the other elves, and like more serious. And then he leaves, and then he doesn't do anything, and he just acts like another elf from the fucking village.
It's fucking stupid. It's like, what was the point? What was the point of
Yeah.
you rebelling from being an elf? Glum, that's like you saying I don't want to be black no more, and then you continue like blasting rap music everywhere you go.
I guess
You're
it
just
is
like Elfo,
that.
and I hate you.
Hi there, I'm Elfo.
Hi there, I'm Glum Walker. I'm white. And he just stayed, like, I guess it makes sense that he's, like, naturally happy because, like, I don't know, his heritage, but, like, why is he not, like, a downer or anything? Like, he's just, like, a sad, mopey piece of shit or something. Like, he's just a happy elf.
But, yeah, so, and even, like, one of his one of like, the first major lines he says is, like, I want to go somewhere where it's miserable. And that never, like, reflected, like, his personality through the show. Like, he didn't really care at all. He's just a happy elf. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it's just a complete 180 in, like, the first episode of the show. That's not very good.
It's like, wow. And the one scene that I hated the most, and I think before I got, like, cut off with, like, maybe some audio issues or something, I was talking about, like, the safeness of, like, the humor. That involves like one of the moments with like Elfo where he's like within that field of like gnomes versus like giants or something. That scene like really bugs me because I thought like there's gonna be like a lot of like probably humorous, gratuitous violence or something happening, and it was gonna be like pretty funny. But like the violence did happen, like some get like disarmed,
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, okay.
dismembered in some ways, but it's like in that same Simpsons-y Futurama kind of way, but a lot less downplayed.
Like an itchy and scratchy kind of way, but like not.
Yeah, it's not like it just kind of feels like, oh, we want to show like violence, but we can't go into like I don't know, like Rick and Morty levels of like violence or anything.
Yeah, so it's like like a giant gets his like chest like bursted open, and like he falls onto Elfo, but he falls through the hole in like the giant. So it's like, yeah, it is a bit safe.
Like, it's like. It's not even like, oh, well, you have to be edgy, but it's still like, yeah, but you can still push the envelope where it feels like it's necessary.
Yeah, especially when you're on Netflix when shit like Devilman Crybaby is on there, or shit like F is for Family.
The only consistently good character was just like the Eric Andre character because he just like talks shit.
Yeah, legitimately. Yeah, Eric Andre, he plays a demon named Lucy who
yeah, he's just like he just sits there and just like comments on it. No one really pays him any attention that much except for that one episode. But he's just sitting there just Eric Andre doing like, "Huh. You're really bad at this."
At first I didn't know Eric Andre was going to be that character. I thought he was going to be Elfo at first. And so like I heard him speak and I'm like, all right, Eric, but damn, it's like, oh, okay, you're not
Eric
him.
Andre plays Elfo. It's like, hi, I'm Elfo. Nice to meet you. And he does something random.
Yeah, so that kind of took me by surprise. But yeah, I thought Eric Andre was probably like literally the best character in the show. He's definitely the most consistent.
He is a good voice, natural voice that yields to being a cunt. If you can't tell from like the show. Eric Andre show specifically.
Yeah.
But like there were some side characters I liked in this series. I liked her maid. She was pretty cute and she had like a nice voice.
Yeah. She she wasn't there that often, but she was nice when she was there.
That was awesome in that one episode where like they have he's like goober. Executing people. He goes like, "Bean, I forgot to call you. You're not a pathetic excuse and good for nothing. You're also a loser."
Loser.
Like the show, like I'm just gonna cut this like kind of short. Like I don't think the show is all that funny. I think the show is like kind of painfully boring in like a lot of areas. Like the first like 5 episodes or something, I'm just like on autopilot. It's like, this is a comedy. I'm not laughing. I don't laugh at.
I mean, I guess we can kind of get into that now. Aside from like, unless you want to talk about John DiMaggio, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, he's consistently funny, but like the thing is with John DiMaggio is that he just has like a really cool voice. He has a very funny voice, so like things that probably
that's why he's in like 90% of cartoons.
Yeah, he just has a really funny voice. I still think that he's really funny, but I think he's acting a little bit different because I had to second guess it for like a little minute because like, is it John DiMaggio?
I could tell immediately by even like just looking at him.
He sounded different. It didn't sound like he was going. He sounded like he wanted to like do Bender and Jake, and then like he just like, I wanted to sound a little bit different.
He wanted to like add like a vague not accent scent, but like kind of like a how do you like say that like how he's talking old
medieval
or something. Yeah, like a medieval kind of like tone to his voice.
Yeah, but like.
Yeah, so King Zog, I like
just
that.
Get into like the humor of it, I guess.
Yeah, so yeah, for like literally in the first episode, it starts with Bean like in a card game.
This is the worst joke in the entire series, and it's right off the fucking bat. It pissed me off.
Describe it, Mars. Describe it. You hate him.
The joke is like Bean is like a degenerate piece of shit. Like that's her character. She's just like a fucking rebellious piece of shit. So they're like playing a card game, and it goes like. They're playing poker and they're playing for money, which Bean doesn't need. She's a fucking queen, but a princess. But like she's going like the guy has like 2 pair. What's your hand? And like
I have 3 me's. I only see 2. 1, 2, and then she points to her own crown. 3 me.
It's so fucking lame. It's just like that is so fucking lame. I wanted to like just turn it off like immediately right after that because I was just like,
I don't know.
This is like, oh, if this sets the precedent going further, I do not want to stick around.
It did kind of set the precedent for the humor.
Yeah, it's.
And then like right after that, they have a bar fight, which I don't want to see. It's very obvious that this style doesn't really do action very well.
No, it doesn't do it very well at all. It looks very disgusting. It's just like, okay, I think Futurama kind of had that problem, but at least they use like shit battles.
They didn't do it too often, and also I think some of the visual stuff was better in Futurama.
I think
even
the 3D
though this one does
was
look
better
a bit
too.
nicer. The 3D was better in Futurama because there's a bunch of shots of the castle, and like there's one part where you see like one guy walking in 3D, and it's like, man, don't do that.
Kind of a lot. Like it looks like what's that one Drinky Crow Show type like cell shaded like 3D visuals.
Yeah, they do that for like all the panning shots of the castle. I don't think it works at all. I think it worked better in Futurama because it's sort of you can to suspend your disbelief because like it's in the future.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, I think that works a bit better.
I don't really like any of like those like establishing like casual shots. It's like
the only thing I liked about those shots was the jam and music. First off, the theme music to this show is probably the best part of the show. Like the theme songs are actually pretty awesome.
I do like that it continues like the Matt Groening thing of like changing up the visuals like for each and every episode.
For the intros?
Yeah, for the intros. They did it with Futurama. Like, there's always like a new.
I liked it too, but sometimes it could spoil like what happens. But I get was the point. But like, all right, like I feel like when it's like plot related stuff, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, so Bean's gonna get married. She's gonna get forced to marry some goober, some incest goober.
I like that. The show like the show is like safe, but then they'll throw a curveball, but they don't ever like get like too disgusting. I don't know if I feel like that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like they'll have like incestuous relationships or something like that, and then they'll just like not do anything else about it.
They don't do anything with it aside from so she's gonna date this handsome prince, but he's a retard because he's like a product of incest.
You're like,
like Elfo, like after he disperses and leaves the elf kingdom, he stumbles into the wedding and like everyone freaks out, and the being like knocks over the prince and he falls on the Iron Throne or something.
Yeah, he like the Iron Throne is like the throne from like Game of Thrones.
That's the throne from Game of Thrones.
He just kind of like leans over and accidentally stabs himself.
But yeah, in this show, it's just like a chair and it just has swords on it.
Yeah, I think that's the same as Game of Thrones. But
I mean, but like Game of Thrones looks more badass than this one.
Yeah. So basically, Elfo is like a hot commodity because like apparently elves are like rare.
They're rare. Only a few have been seen. They even say that in the Elf Kingdom, like no, Returno didn't even return or something like that. And so yeah, he leaves and the king captures him to get his magic.
Yeah. So I like that fact that they're like not very like they're very blatant about saying like I'm just using you. You're only here because of your blood, and it's like everyone sounded like all right with that. Even like Bean, it's like all right.
At first,
no,
yeah.
even later on, like it takes to like the 9th episode for her to be like, wait a minute,
you just want him for his blood.
Yeah, it's just like they've been doing that.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
There's like one of the jokes that are just kind of like, oh yeah, it's not really anything new, but
yeah.
So
yeah, but then she runs away from her wedding.
Yeah,
and it's like, and when we mentioned before, the weird thing is just like, you know, you think that'd be like a whole plot point of the show, but they kind of rectify it in literally the 2nd episode.
Yeah, you would think that the whole thing about her dad would take like more episodes for him to come to that term of like, maybe I should just let my daughter take her own path, and it's just like it ends so fucking quick. It is surprising. So like those are like, there's only like maybe like 4 like plot really like demanding episodes like within the show.
Yeah, it's like the first 2 and then like the last 3, I think, something like that, and then there's just like a big like 5 episode long gap in between them.
You know, not to say like, oh well, if it doesn't have plot, I mean it's bad. I mean like I like the episode where like they get the giant girl.
But I mean most of the it's just like it's an episodic thing. But I don't think that works the way they wanted to with Netflix.
The whole point of like a Netflix series is so you can binge it.
You can binge it and like follow like a story you couldn't really do in like a movie theater or something. You just kind of watch the story transfold and you don't really get that.
It's like, I think it's also just kind of like I think it's kind of our own fault because like we as like a consumer have like kind of like thought of this idea of like all their shows that are oriented towards adults are like, they're like these continuous stories, and I think like, oh, I guess is that really? It's kind of like a their problem, but kind of like a us problem more.
I guess, but it's like they tried to do the episodic thing here, and it didn't work.
Yeah, true. I mean, like each episode does have like a reference to previous events in each and every one, so.
Yeah, but it's like you could just put that on like Fox or something, and like I feel like people would just understand it and just could watch the episode on its own.
Oh, if I had to wait a week just to see these fucking episodes, this show would get more shit too. I'm gonna tell you this: if this show was on like a week by week basis, I wouldn't get past the first like 2 episodes. It's not to say that it doesn't get better. I do think the show gets better, and there is interest in it in a possible season 2. But like, it's not even like a thing, because like after the first 2 episodes, the first like 5, again, I said the first 5 episodes are like pretty bad. It gets better, but it doesn't pull like a BoJack Horseman where it becomes like great. It just pulls like, pulls its head out of its like ass.
Oh, that's at least that's an interesting concept. I'd like to see that. I wish the whole season was just like sort of that concept or something like that, or at least focused more on it.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
It's just So
yeah, the whole show goes on, and it's just like the adventures of Bean, Elfo, and her demon Lucy, who apparently is being controlled by 2 unknown forces that we don't really understand that
They don't
much.
play a role in season 2, and they're fucking useless.
They'll play a role in season 2, obviously, but it's just like they don't really. They're just
Yeah,
there.
they're just kind of like, you know, they're serving their purpose, I guess. So they're just like observing, but it's like
Nothing they said was funny.
I wish that was like a kind of like an end sting though, like oh someone's watching over.
I mean, there is a big end sting.
No, I know like in the end of this series, like
Oh, you mean
like they would have been part of that end sting to where like they're overseeing them, because we see them like a fuck ton. We see them like every episode. They don't do shit or they don't say anything funny. I wish that they would just say like they would just cut them out, and then at the ending with I guess we can't really spoil it. We'll go into that later.
Not yet.
But then they'll do that. Then they'll appear. Because that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because that would add more intrigue to the world, which they barely fucking use.
They don't really do that.
This is what the thing. Disenchantment, what I thought it was going to be, was it was going to be this series about this girl basically running away from the kingdom to find her own path and going and exploring these, like, lands. And they don't do that at all. They do it maybe, like, once.
No, they do not.
So it's just kind of like, oh, we're just like cucked into the fucking dreamland, which dreamland, this town that this show presides in, is very uninteresting and full of like not interesting characters at all.
It tries to do things like, you know, it tries to do like all the fantasy jokes, like like a Monty Python thing where it's like, oh, bring out your dead, like you like a guy who's like bringing like a barrel of like dead people to like a pit you could burn it.
It's just like,
I don't know.
You could easily, I'm just saying that you could probably easily rework this, and this could be a lot better of a series, but no. It's just like, it's just dry toast. I like toast.
Yeah.
But I want some,
I want
some jam with my toast, and I want my orange juice.
I'm eating dried toast.
Are you, I can see you on cam. Are you actually eating toast, you fuck? Why are you eating toast?
It's bagel toast.
Clem, it's like 5:30. Why are you eating a bagel?
I'm allowed to.
Why do you eat bagels at 5:30? You eat those in the morning.
I was hungry. I just wanted a bagel. I didn't want to like eat like a full meal.
Fuck Disenchantment. We're gonna talk about this. Why the fuck are you eating? Are you eating like cream cheese or anything?
No, not right now.
You're just eating a bagel at like 5:32
toasted bagel
on like a Tuesday.
What does the date of the week have to do with my eating a bagel?
Because you're supposed to not eat. You're supposed to eat those in the morning. You're supposed to pace those bagels out. Bagel days are like Mondays because they have to go back. That's when people usually go to work. Wednesdays and Fridays to just get it out. You're doing it wrong.
Very happy we can discuss the bagels, Mars.
Oh, you know.
Anyway, more Disenchantment. Let's see. I don't know. What's some plot points you want to bring up?
I guess we can like get into like the spoiler one. Because like this,
the big one already.
Yeah, the big one. Because like, there's no other plot points. Like the only like episode where like just a standalone episode was like it was like really boring. It was really bad because it was like an Elfo one where he's like lying about like his girlfriend. Like that part was like,
yeah,
that was pretty lame.
That's always terrible. Oh yeah. Oh wait, yeah. So there's a whole plot point where Elfo is attracted to Bean, and it's like, I don't know, they didn't really do good with that whole relationship. It's like Bean didn't really care about him, which would be fine, but it's like, why do it in the first place? It didn't really seem like it needed to be there.
Yeah. It's just kind of like very awkward. This is very, I guess that's what they're going for, but
I think, yeah, and it's just like yeah, that's the whole thing where like Elfo's like character did a 180 because like he had no problem fucking sleeping with that one elf at the beginning of the season, and now he's like having trouble with like a human girl. It's like, I mean, like at least like talking to her at least.
Yeah.
It's not like he's so socially inept. It's like he can talk to people.
He reverts back into like an incel. It's like, I understand. What the fuck happened to him? Like, he was so fucking cool.
That's true.
Like, he was fucking like an elf chick, like on the fucking work floor.
Yeah, like he just like makes out with her and like makes her kiss him. I kind of laughed at that when that first happened.
I was kind of disturbed because
that was like the first real joke I got.
I was kind of disturbed because she was like 2 feet and she had like giant tits and it was like really weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
I also have, I'm just gonna set this out, I have a bias against Elfo because I am, you know.
You hate little people, Mars?
I say little people, not like dwarves. I mean actual little creatures and humans.
Dwarves? I mean, like fantasy dwarves are pretty much the same. Before we get into spoilers, all right. Were there any other redeeming aspects aside from like that?
I like some of the characters that live within the kingdom, like within the like that fucking character that's just smashed like together, like Smithers and like Mr. Burns. That was like 3 eyes.
The one who the 3 eyes. I kind of
he's just like Mr. Smithers and like Burns smashed together.
Yeah.
That.
I like the king's wife. I liked his wife and the son.
His wife is just like Ralph Wiggum, like medieval like.
No, his sister, his fucking son is Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. This is like a Ralph Wiggum. It goes like.
Which is weird. He didn't really do much for like half of the season, and then just like has like some parts.
Yeah, I was very
like,
confused by that because like he's present, but he doesn't say shit, and they don't ever reference him to like. I didn't know his fucking name to like
I didn't know his name. I didn't even know he was a boy until like he started.
Yeah,
speaking.
I didn't know his name till like the 4th episode, and he's not like he's far in the background. Like he's prominent. He sits next to his mom, and like he's like, oh, is this guy gonna say anything? No. Oh.
No. He's got a ponytail. Is he a girl? I can't tell.
Yeah, it's very weird.
But he's a prince. So.
And positive. That one fucking like cuck.
The
pig? The
pig?
guy that turns into a pig.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, he's just a really funny one.
Aside from Eric Andre, he was like my favorite side character.
I liked him in the episode where like with that one chick, that one like Cyclops lady who's like.
Yeah.
Who is like she's like a grad student or something. Something
like that, and then she gets like the all-seeing eye. Let's see. I mean, I'm trying to think of more episodes like had things interesting, and they're really hard to like think of.
Yeah, they're just dry toast.
Like they remember like the episode where they got high, and then Bean kisses Elfo at the end. That's about it.
I'm just gonna say I hate the trope of like characters getting high in like shows. I think it's really played out.
Getting high.
I think it's really played.
The trope of it.
I just really hate fucking like people getting high in like cartoons. It's just like they.
Why is that?
They're other than BoJack, they're like they don't ever go really too trippy with like the visuals, and it's always like stupid. I don't think high. I think drunk is something I get more annoyed with because it's all like really It's like really just kind of like annoying.
I guess
there's a lot. If you watch any adult show, it's like always the characters can get drunk at one point.
I've watched a few adult shows, and like I don't know, that doesn't really come into a factor in most like. Yeah, so aside from BoJack, where they have like the drug-filled episode, and
they're always like interesting, trippy visuals. I feel like a lot of these like shows, they just kind of like they kind of go halfway with it.
Yeah. And it's like there's the Hansel and Gretel one where like Elfo gets captured by Hansel and Gretel, and they kidnap the witch was gonna get executed. It's a whole bunch of like convoluted shit that didn't really like lead up to anything.
That one, like, I don't hate, but I feel like that one's just like a half like thought out episode. It goes like, what if we just put Hansel and Gretel, but they're really creepy.
They're really creepy, and then Bean kills them in the end.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh yeah, they also have a thing where like the witch's sister was in the attic. It's like, oh, but they blew up the house, and then she's still alive in the next episode though.
Wait, is she?
Yeah, remember?
Oh.
Like when they're going to find the amulet.
Oh yeah, what the fuck? Bullshit.
I guess they just did away with that dark joke.
Oh. Way to go, Matt Groening. This I hope the one thing that opens this up is that putting Matt Groening on the fucking like the box cover doesn't mean shit for like people. It really shouldn't though. Like, to be honest, like I think he's admitted this himself. His shows are not good without any of the original writers. He really isn't all that without them. Yeah. So like, if you're just gonna use Matt Groening to bank off something, you're not having my interest.
All right, I guess we'll talk about the plot now. We'll talk about how they had to get the amulet of life.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so the one good thing the show does is that they get the amulet of life, and then like Bean uses it on her mom instead of Alpha, which I was happy because fuck that guy.
Yeah, but so the whole reason they're getting the amulet is because they believe that the father wants to be immortal. It's like no, that's not why I did it. And it's like I wanted to do it to bring your mother back. it's like, oh, all right, I guess we're dicks now. And so they do this whole thing. They go to the desert and get the amulet from like the evil like exorcist guy from a previous episode where he tried to like steal Lucy and whatever. And then after that, like Elfo gets stabbed in the back by like an arrow because he's trying to like hide his like hidden elf village because they need the blood of an elf for the thing to work, and Elfo is half elf and not fully blooded.
They don't say what he is, but what do you think he is?
They don't say what it is. They cut it off, and it's like, oh, that was funny.
That was really awesome. I love being.
That's great. I like how he couldn't just ask his father again. Like he just like let the paper sink into water while like a hit of his hand.
Yeah, like he like leaves that scene, and he was like, well, why did you? What? Why did you tell him off screen? I want to know. Fuck you, Matt Groening. How many are we on like the fuck you, Matt Groenings?
I mean, I don't know. That's just from you, so I have no idea. I haven't been counting. But yeah. So after that, like Elfo dies. He bleeds out, and then Bean chooses whether or not she's gonna save Elfo or her mother, who's encased in stone, because when she was very young, her mother drank like a poisoned bottle of wine.
It's all Bean's fault. Bean, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, because she switched the glass that was meant for her father, and her mother drank the glass of wine that not killed her, but it encased her in stone.
Yeah.
And so she decides to bring her mother back because she only knew the elf for like what, like a month, a couple months. They said they did say like a couple months passed like during this whole thing. She brings her mother back, and her mother's very hot.
Yeah, she has like I don't know. I like the other one better. She has gills.
I like her more with her hair down. I think she looks fine. Anyway, so she's able to bring her mother back. And so, like, yeah, and they have this whole thing where her mother doesn't like the fish, the serpent wife.
Fish.
And then they have, like, a funeral for Elfo, and, like, his thing gets knocked over, his casket gets knocked over, and he falls into the river.
Oh, yeah, that's the end of him.
Yeah.
I don't even think, like, Bean was even mad in that scene, though.
She was pretty mad.
Oh, no, she tells off the fucking other one. She doesn't, like...
Yeah, she tells off the fish woman, yeah.
She picked her side. You fucking asshole. She raised that fish, raised you, so they don't have any interaction in the show at all, really. No,
not really. She's just like, oh. So I think like she gives her like a sex talk at one point, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only interaction they've really had as two characters.
And oh yeah, no, she takes her drugs. I remember that.
Takes her heroin.
Yeah, there's like 2 drug like sessions in the show. I remember because like they eat like her sawdust or so whatever.
Sawdust.
That's what it looked like. It was like powder. And like that's what made like her mom like howl or whatever.
Yeah.
And so yeah. Anyway, so after this is like Lucy. He's like he looks on the all-seeing eye, which apparently can see in the past and was always there for years and years.
No one's ever used it.
And so
at all.
No one's ever used it.
The king never like thought like maybe I should look at this to see who poisoned my wife at all.
He was too busy banging the fish woman.
Ah, fuck, my wife's dead. I better go fuck this fish.
I mean, he had to. He said he had to get it like an error. That's the whole point. Yeah.
No one in his kingdom, not even his advisors, like maybe we should use the all-seeing eye.
No. But yeah, Lucy uses it, and so he goes back to the time where where Bean's mother was encased in stone, and it turns out that the mom was originally going to poison the king, which I was pretty not surprised by. I kind of felt like she was a bit shady.
It was very evident that she was doing. It just felt.
I thought it was either her or the 3-eyed guy.
No,
because he was always kind of creepy.
I knew it was her because it just felt very like weird. It felt like very like something's off, and why they didn't choose Elfo to come back, because that would be the obvious choice. So like, obviously, if you bring back your mom, there has to be like some sort of repercussion for it. And also, she was just kind of like very clingy to like Bean. So it was like, oh well,
yeah,
gave it away, fuckers.
Yeah, but then her father finds this out, and he tries to stop the mother. But she like makes like a potion that turns a bunch of people into stone, like all the characters we've seen in the past, like the knights and the one maid girl. And so she makes like a potion to engulf the entire kingdom in stone. And the only one who survives is the dad, and Lucy gets bottled up by, I'm assuming, the exorcist, because you can hear like the bottle sound sucking him up. That had nothing to do with that doesn't make sense. She could have just
No.
left.
She's a good guy. Glem, I'm right. You're wrong. Fuck the Exorcist.
I doubt that. We'll have to see it in part 2, Mars. But anyway, yeah. So her mom takes her to like a boat with a bunch of like fish people on it again. And like yeah, her father's left alone in the kingdom made of stone now.
Yeah, and the show ends and they lose. It's like, oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
Another
Okay.
season of Disenchantment. Watch them do this thing. They'll do like Shaolin Showdown, which will a video that will come out and people will see why that show sucks in like certain areas. But like, I bet they'll do this. They'll have like a serious episode for like the first 3 or 4, and then they'll just drop it and they'll just do random fucking bullshit.
Probably bring back Alpha or something.
Yeah, he's not dead. That would be really ballsy. Matt Groening, I'll give you an extra point. Like
this character that's all in the advertising.
Yeah,
just
dies. Kill him. Just straight up kill him.
No, they're not gonna do that. That'd be too cool.
Dude, that's always been like something I would want to do. Like with this shit.
What, just like kill like a main character? And
I would
just
like to
leave him
fucking
dead?
comment of the shit out of like a Western like show I made. Just get people to love them so much, and then just like, you know what, after 2 episodes, just fucking kill them. Or 2 or 4.
You're like one of those guys who's like, dude, I want to start a comic where like the main character dies in the first issue.
Yes. That is me entirely.
There's always people like that. It's like, okay, how cool is that?
No, just kill them all.
All right, you're gonna be as cool as like X-Force
Dude,
or something
Aaron
like that. That's
Yeager
not...
the shit out of my characters. No.
But he didn't die. He's like he came back. You're doing the opposite. You're gonna do what they're doing, Mars.
Alright, I'd do it right then. Just keep them dead. I'll make like Batman, and I'll make like a character that's like on the same level of like interest from people, like Batman, and I'll kill him in like the next episode. Just to fuck with them, and then
It's the same shit as like when Deadpool did it in his movie, and then he brought them all back.
And I create like a shittier character like Batboy.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, yeah. So that was Disenchantment, Mars. This is the first part of this story. We're gonna have to watch season 2 to find out, because this is definitely gonna get a season 2.
I'm not doing a podcast on that one. Fuck that. I don't actually know.
We're doing a podcast on it. If we're doing a podcast on part 1, we need to do a podcast.
What
on
if they
part
keep
2.
doing 7 episodes? What if this is like a smash hit? Are we gonna keep doing it then?
Yes.
Fuck.
We've done like 4. We're gonna do like 4 seasons
But
of
we
BoJack.
like that show. That's different.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. So,
One is like an actually like been good for the past like 3. How many seasons is it on? This one's 5, right?
BoJack is gonna be 5
Yeah,
seasons.
the last 4 seasons or 3. I'm not good at math.
We did 4 seasons of BoJack.
They've been good. This one is like we've done 10 episodes of.
Well, I mean, Mars. We've done like 7 like Marvel movies.
But I like some of those.
I think you've liked all of them. Actually,
I've said some of them I've been indifferent to. But
comic book movie. I don't. Think
I like
so.
Black Panther.
You like Black Panther.
Homecoming.
You like Infinity War. You like Spider-Man, and then you like Deadpool.
Okay, yeah, I've been like.
You liked all of them.
If we did the Ant-Man one, then like that would be the one where Mars just goes like, I hate because I hate Ant-Man and I hate Paul Rudd.
Well, I didn't hate that movie, but you probably would not like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I hate Ant-Man as a character. I hate him in the comics too.
Why do you hate him in the comics? You don't even read the comics.
I don't read the comics, but I just think that he's fucking lame.
I don't know. He's a better character than like Aquaman or some shit.
He's what I fear, and I don't like the second Google image, Paul Rudd.
What fucking like we're just looking at Captain Marvel in the
I'm
shower?
looking at like the image of like Paul Rudd, where like you know that one image of like Mark Zuckerberg where he looks like an alien. Same thing for like Paul Rudd.
Yeah. All right, Mars. So yeah, that was Disenchantment. If you had to rate the current state of what the show is, part 1 of it, what would you rate
this
it?
like a 5 I'm giving this a 5.
A 5? Wow, 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
for you.
this is like a 50%.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give it like a very very low 3 out of 5. That's my rating for it. It's leaning towards a 2 because it just kind of was blah, and I'm not gonna remember a lot of it for when the season 2 comes. Most likely.
This is a disappointment because like I felt like the Netflix advertising for this was like pretty alright.
I didn't watch any like trailers for it, so I was completely going into it fresh, and I was still disappointed.
It's just like they have a good track record, and this is like,
yeah.
shit,
I mean,
or just like fucking boring.
yeah.
And it's like God damn, you brought
You got Matt Groening, and then we got this. I don't even hate the show. It's just like I just wish it was more interesting because I like this fantasy stuff. I feel like I got like my sort of fantasy fill with stuff that was better than this. I think I liked it better when Borderlands did the stupid Dungeons and Dragons DLC. And that's saying something.
Wow,
Borderlands 2, Tiny Tina, Dungeons and Dragons DLC.
Would you say the humor is better in Borderlands 2 than this?
The entirety of the game, it's more. I laughed at. I mean, I not laughed, but I enjoy more of the jokes in Borderlands, the series, than I did in Disenchantment.
Wow, that is so That is like disrespectful. Holy shit. How shit do you gotta be to where you think like Borderlands 2 is?
I don't hate Borderlands.
I hate
it's just like most of the jokes are not good. I'm not gonna deny that. I don't mind the gameplay, and some of the jokes are okay, but that's about it though. Most of the jokes do not land, and I do think most of the jokes are better than the stuff in Disenchantment.
There you have it. Less funny than Borderlands 2 DLC.
No, I'll rise. Yeah, I mean, if we're going fantasy, yeah, I'll give it to that. Okay, so let's get into some questions, Mars. Let's see what we got here. All right, so if you want to ask us a question, be sure to join the Half and Half Discord page and ask us stuff in questions and suggestions when we will add everyone for when we're recording the show. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, so from Wolf, how much have you found the writing of Disenchantment to be similar to Futurama or The Simpsons? And how do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel like it's not too similar because
it's not too similar at all.
They're not like The Simpsons. They don't have interesting enough characters within this series to where like
the only laughs I got were from Lucy, and that was about it.
He's the only character that feels like one of those shows. Yeah,
he's cool. Anyway, so
do the Homer shake.
Do the Homer shake. What are your thoughts on Adventure Time ending?
Thank God, someone was brave enough to take it down. Just put it down. Like it's just like it felt like this show needed to get like Old Yeller like years ago.
It did feel like it kind of outstayed its welcome apparently. And then like I haven't watched it since like 2015.
Yeah, it's just. I've heard people vouch for it in its later seasons. I've had like friends and
we've had friends who say that it gets better and like it gets better in like the last 7 seasons or something.
But like this show just felt like, all right, there's a lot of like apparently there's a lot of shit in the middle. It just goes like, well, just end it. Like it felt like it like Cartoon Network stopped giving shit about this show in like 2015, 2016 area. I don't understand why it's now ending. It should have ended in like 2016.
Yeah.
I like the fact that though when it's ending, they held on to that one episode that's so stuck in the past, the fucking Minecraft episode. Like they realized it was like a terrible idea and they just scrapped it.
That's essentially like that's like the second to last episode because like the next episode's gonna come out like the last episode's coming out like next month, isn't it?
Oh, the fucking like what is the term like dissonance between like these episodes? It's like one's like a fucking Minecraft and the other one's like, all right guys, it's really serious.
Yeah.
So fucking retarded.
Right.
What if they like they were like the Minecraft episode, like they were like 50% done with like the Roblox episode and they announced the Minecraft one, they were just like just fucking stop.
Just stop.
Yeah, just put this away. Burn all the fucking frames. Burn it. Burn the pencils you drew these frames with.
Alright. From what's his name? From Foilhead. With The Simpsons being a traditional sitcom, Futurama being a sci-fi, and Disenchantment being fantasy, what genre would you like Matt Groening to tackle in the future?
Can he tackle him?
I mean, I feel like he's done like everything at this point.
He should tackle the 1900s. He seemingly wants to talk about like social like shit because like he kind of peppers like some shit like that in like Disenchantment when it doesn't really feel all that appropriate. Matt, fucking nut up. Talk about the 1900s. Talk about racism, bro.
That'd be interesting. I don't know. I feel like he's basically done like everything at this point.
Actually, no. Fuck. He can do like American history.
Just in general.
No. Like he can do like American history, like old American history, like George Washington, like one of those presidents or something. Something akin to that. Something about like within the 1700s. I feel like will be the next setting he'll do.
All right. From FV. Thoughts on the PS4 Spider-Man game?
Dude, I'm probably gonna stream that the day it comes out.
Damn.
Yeah, me and Porch are like two fucking like
friend of ours.
Two like fucking like the biggest like Spider-Man like PlayStation game fans and like within our group. So like me and him are just like coming at like each and every day to like Spider-Man PS4 comes out.
I won't be playing it because I don't own a PS4.
Glem, you don't truly love Marvel. You don't like Spider-Man like I do.
I don't. Yeah, Spider-Man is personally not my favorite superhero. He was for a time when I was a kid, but like growing up, I feel like I've liked a bit more stuff from others.
Spider-Man is epic. He is awesome, and I one thing I don't like about it is apparently like there's no fall damage in it. That is the worst because because everyone says like fall damage. I hate it, but like in Spider-Man, that's the whole point. You jump off the tallest building, and then you play like a fucking ballsy game of like, when do I swing? I'm gonna swing then, and then I won't hit the ground. It just kind of takes away like the fun of like dying.
They did that, and they did that in the last two like Amazing Spider-Man games.
No one likes those.
Yeah.
Everyone hates those.
But I mean, they did that in like in Spider-Man, like I think in Spider-Man 3, where when you wore the black suit, you can jump off like the Empire State.
Either. They say it's
like a Spider-Man 3 game.
They say it's like a glitchy piece of shit.
It wasn't glitched for me. I beat that game.
Glem, have you not seen the cutscene where like the girl looks disgusting? It goes.
I played the PS like 2 version, so I didn't see that.
Oh, the PS3 version's fucked because I don't think people knew how to like program for the PS3.
PS3 is not the greatest.
Mike Daly, question: for a series to gain traction globally, how does it succeed on breaking the cultural and language barrier? And if it is really as much of an issue to worry about. I do think the culture issue is like kind of a big thing. It's kind of like with these American shows. They're kind of overbearing in like a lot of like their humor.
Yeah.
Like Family Guy is never gonna fucking pop off in Japan. I'm telling you that now. They do not give a shit. So I don't really think that you can really do that. I think you just have to be lucky. Like and just like people that like do the dubs have to like be really good at with their jobs too and know what to change. Like I don't even know what the fuck I don't even know. I was watching this one YouTube video about how The Simpsons is funnier in like Spanish. And
what?
Yeah, there's like The Simpsons is like actually like talked about pretty constantly being funnier in Spanish because the people in that dub it in Spanish, they take this a lot of like American jokes and they rewrite them to where they would make more sense in like Spanish. And it's actually pretty interesting. So I don't really think that you can. I think this is just a thing of like luck. I think like language barrier, you just have to have really good, passionate people that are trying to like bring it alive over there.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe if you like the culture barrier, maybe you can like introduce characters more. You can introduce like more ethnically diverse characters, I guess.
That would help.
Yeah, that'd probably help. Like, you know, bring in some, you know, put some more Baljeets in your show. You know,
that's what the world needs, more Baljeets. Everyone's favorite.
I love. This is the most racist shit ever, but I do love those like really terrible memes of like people just calling people Baljeet. It is the worst shit ever, but the name Baljeet is so funny.
Baljeet. That's the new Apu.
That is the new Apu. Baljeet, Phineas and Ferb, you have created the new Apu. You created Baljeet.
Well, there'll be a TV series in like 20 years talking about how Baljeet isn't that great of a character.
Dude, if you're like a East Asian, are they East Asian or West Asian? Or if you're like a fucking like Indian person, you're either one or two people. You're either a Baljeet or you're an Apu.
One or the other, not both.
Maybe you could be a Aziz Ansari, but that is it. There's no other Indians you could be.
How specific? That's really specific.
Baljeet, Aziz Ansari, and Apu.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sorry, this episode is sponsored by Burger
Sorry,
King.
Aziz Ansari. I guess so. All right, yeah. So that's the Half and Half podcast. I've been your host, Glenn Walker, with my other co-host, MarsReviews. All right. Anyway, that's the Half and Half podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
But okay, it's that buzzing sound. You heard that?
No, what happened?
I think it might have came from your mic. I don't know. Never mind. Whoa.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
buzzing real bad?
Can you speak again?
Hold on, let me pause my recording because I'm looking at it. It's like really weird. All right, or you can or do you pause?
I didn't pause.
All right, or 3, 2, 1, pause.
Wait. Okay. I'm also recording 2 different things, Mars. So give me a second.
Okay, I'll just.
And the main character of the series, her name is Bean. She's a princess.
Hey, Hey, you better watch out how you're gonna spell this. Spell her name. Do not put any don't put like an E or an R after it. You're gonna get into big trouble, my man. You're gonna get in big trouble.
What are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. She's not Mexican.
I'm
That
just
doesn't
telling
work.
people- I'm just telling people.
What is he talking
Don't-
about? Just Bean.
All
All right. Anyway, what the fuck was that?
I'm sorry. I need to see some other names. Cause like, what is Matt? Because he doesn't even.
Shit.
What the fuck was that? Was that Jet Set
My
Radio?
phone. No, it was my phone.